Hey everyone, Psycho here again. With Shadowlands about to be released, I wanted to put out another video that was a little bit more in depth than my previous one. In this video, I'm going to cover the best legendaries and conduits for Havoc, so that you're prepared for when you reach level 60. Before we get started, please take note that with tuning, some of this could be subject to change. But with my extensive experience playing at a high level on the beta, I'm going to recommend picks for you that can help you be successful in the form of content that you choose. Havoc Demon Hunter has access to 8 legendaries in total, with 4 that are unique to Havoc. Overall, most of the legendaries are not really that great, so I'm going to skip past the ones that will not be specifically relevant to you early on, as I want to tailor this guide towards what I recommend you craft so that you perform as optimally as possible. This doesn't mean that the other legendaries are invalidated, but I personally feel that they would need tuning or reworks to become even remotely viable. Luckily, you won't have to go through much trouble to obtain our best 2 legendaries, as they come from the last 2 bosses in Castle Nathria. If you don't have a raid team early on, it may be a little difficult to obtain these, but once the tier goes on, you should be able to pug these bosses on at least normal difficulty fairly easily. The second to last boss in Castle Nathria are the Stone Legion Generals, where you can find the Collective Anguish legendary. Collective Anguish will summon an allied Vengeance Demon Hunter who will cast Fell Devastation when you cast I-Beam. Collective Anguish can be used as both Havoc and Vengeance, which is nice if you play both specs, but performance-wise, it's much better for Havoc. What makes Collective Anguish a good legendary is simple. It's consistent damage every 30 seconds for all types of damage profiles, single target, cleave, and AoE. This makes Collective Anguish the top pick for Mythic Plus, and fights with cleave in Castle Nathria. Also, because Fell Devastation is cast, you get a little bit of healing, which can sometimes come in handy. Personally, I don't find this legendary very exciting gameplay-wise, but in terms of numbers and performance, it's incredibly strong and versatile in many situations. The final boss of Castle Nathria is Sire Denathrius, who holds Havoc's other strong legendary, Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory is a Havoc-only legendary that has a 30% chance to proc Chaotic Blades when you cast Blade Dance. The Chaotic Blades buff you receive increases the damage of Chaos Strike by 50%, and gives your Chaos Strikes an 80% chance to refund 20 Fury. Currently, this is the best legendary for Havoc on pure single target, but does not give you much value in cleave or AoE. This means that Chaos Theory is very strong in the raid, but won't grant you much value in Mythic Plus other than on bosses or prideful manifestations. Gameplay-wise, Chaos Theory is pretty fun to play around. Hitting Chaos Strike while the proc is active is very satisfying. But one thing to take note here is that it requires you to be pressing Blade Dance on cooldown to get the most value out of it. So it's best to make sure you're talented into First Blood. If you were to ask me what legendary to craft first with your valuable Soul Ash, I personally would recommend Collective Anguish, as it will be powerful in more situations than Chaos Theory at the very start of the expansion. But picking Chaos Theory is also a good choice. All in all, this decision will mainly come down to your particular playstyle and what type of content you want to engage in. The Conduit system is new to Shadowlands. Conduits are obtained through various forms of content, but the most important ones are gathered through dungeons and the raid. Conduits scale by rank based on item level. Basically, they work very similar to gear. The harder the content you do, the higher rank conduits you will obtain. There are 3 types of conduits: Finesse, Potency, and Endurance. Finesse conduits typically empower your movement or utility spells. Potency will empower your damaging abilities, and Endurance will increase your defensive capability. For this video, I will mainly be going over the Potency and Endurance conduits because, to be quite honest with you, Finesse conduits for Demon Hunter are not even remotely impactful in PvE content, so it's best that you try and avoid them as much as possible. Growing Inferno is a conduit that at its base rank increases Immolation Aura's damage by 10% each time it deals damage. This Conduit is incredibly strong on AoE and cleave, making your Immolation Aura damage quite significant. What this means for you is that you want to maintain a high amount of uptime in the melee range of your target while your Immolation Aura is active to gain maximum value out of this potency Conduit. Relentless Onslaught is a potency Conduit which at its base rank causes Chaos Strike to have a 5% chance to trigger a second Chaos Strike. Relentless Onslaught has the most value on pure single target, and synergizes well with Chaos Theory. Moving on to Endurance Conduits, Viscous Ink empowers your demonic wards. At its base rank, Viscous Ink reduces your magic damage taken by an additional 6%. There's a lot of passive magic damage in Shadowlands dungeons and Castle Nathria, making Viscous Ink a very strong Endurance Conduit. Shattered Restoration is simple but effective. The healing of your Shattered Souls is increased by 5% at its base rank. As Havoc, you won't gain as much value out of Shattered Restoration as Vengeance does, but you can gain value out of the added healing from playing Demonic Appetite, or from stunning enemies with Chaos Nova. Thank you all very much for watching my Legendary and Conduit guide for Havoc Demon Hunter. Please be sure to like this video if you did, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below, or stop by my Twitch channel when I'm live. Also, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube, as I'll be releasing many more videos. See you in Shadowlands.
Oh, did you get melee?
Beware.
Yes.
Man, what? Man, what?
Did you not pull a taunt, man?
I did.
Hold on. Oh, I'm bugged. We're bugged. Just do it again, man.
Fuck.
I'm bugged, man. What is this? Look how far I am.
I was owning, man.
You were. Oh, I pulled threat, man. What do you mean I was owning?
Yes, I did.